Amy, but you can call me GeekyMcFangirl. Welcome to my channel and thanks so much for joining me for a Star Wars inspired craft. Today I'm going to show you how to use polymer clay to make lightsaber pens. You can find links for all the materials you will need for this project in the description below the video. Before we get started, I wanted to give a huge thanks to everyone who makes the GeekyMcFangirl channel possible with a pledge of $1 or more a month on Patreon. If you're enjoying the show, click the Patreon link below the video to support the channel. You can also support me for free by subscribing, liking, and sharing. Before working with the clay, the first step is to use a small plier to remove the ink from 2 big round stick pins. These pens are strong enough to make it through the baking process as long as you don't leave them in to bake too long. You cannot bake the pens with the ink inside. It will melt. For this project, I'm going to use 3 colors of clay: light blue, red, and silver. But of course, you can make any color lightsaber pens you want. Go crazy with your imagination. Condition a piece of blue clay and then roll it out wide enough to wrap a pen and long enough to fit the pen length. Trim the excess and then carefully wrap and shape the clay around the pen, leaving the front portion blank for the handle later. Cut a nice clean edge where the handle will meet the blade. Pop this into the oven for a very short time. 5 minutes should be enough if the oven has been preheated. While the clay is baking, it's time to start the second pen. Repeat the process with red clay. I like to wear a pair of gloves when I work with red clay because it can easily stain your hands and fingers. I pulled the blue pen out of the oven and reinserted the ink while it was still warm. The reason I do this is just in case the pen nib has started to melt or soften in the oven. This makes sure that the ink can be put back at the end of the project. Check on this throughout the project. Make sure you protect your hands from the heat. Nothing worse than finishing a clay pen project and not being able to get the ink back in. Use the blue pen as a gauge for the red pen. Make sure that the blade length is the same on both. Once the red clay is smoothed and trimmed to your liking, into the oven it goes. While the red pen is baking, I'm working on the silver handle of the blue lightsaber. With silver clay, cover the front of the pen up to the ink cartridge tip. Leave that uncovered so that the ink can be removed for baking and replaced when it runs out. When the red pen is baked and completely cooled, and you've re-added the ink cartridge, it's time to add a silver handle to the pen, again leaving a space for the ink cartridge. Then into the oven to bake the handles for a short time. Remember to remove the ink before you bake and keep an eye on the plastic to make sure it's not melting. When the pens come out of the oven, reinsert the ink cartridge to make sure the tips have not melted or softened into a weird shape. To decorate the handles, I started with a water-based black pen and a fine-tip Sharpie liner. Eventually, I moved on to a beetle black acrylic paint from Martha Stewart. It stuck to the clay a bit better than the pens did and gave better coverage. The final step is to coat the pens with gloss Mod Podge to protect your handle designs and add shine to the blades. Start by coating the handle portions and then set them upside down in a glass or jar to dry. When the gloss on the handles is dry, it's time to coat the blade sides with gloss Mod Podge. Then set them right side up in a glass to dry again. Mod Podge will cure completely in 28 days. If you have the time and the patience, put your pen somewhere safe to cure. But if not, you can use your pens in a few hours when the Mod Podge is completely dry. Thanks so much for crafting with me today, and I want to give a big shout out to my fan Omar, who suggested this project. Omar, I hope you have fun if you make your lightsaber pins. And if you liked this project and you want to see what's coming next, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to watch me live stream my craft projects, you can find me on Twitch. If you want to support the channel, you can also find me on Patreon. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.